Hey everybody, welcome back to James Rose Everything. This is James, and today we are continuing with our Drawing Every Country in the World's Flag series. And today, we're getting ever so closer to the end here. So we're going to be going back into Asia, and we're going to be doing this country. James, yes? Can you be a little bit more helpful than that? Well, yeah, I pointed it out on the map. No. What's the name of the country that you're doing? Oh, I guess I should have said that, right? Well, actually, I'm not really sure what the name of this country is. Okay, so some people call it Burma. Some people call it Myanmar. The website that I use to get a lot of the data for these little episodes that I do, I use the World Factbook, which is the CIA's website. They call it Burma, but from what I understand, most places have called this place Myanmar since about 1989. So I think just for the purposes of this episode, we're going to call it Myanmar. All right. But the people still call themselves Burmese, at least some of them, right? So, we'll kind of get to that in our history lesson here. So, history lesson, all right? So, Burma, home to the ethnic Burmans and a whole bunch of other religious and ethnic minorities that have kind of been fighting against, the outside world for quite some time. They've had a lot of issues with neighboring Thailand. When Thailand was Siam, there was Burmese, Siamese wars, quite a few of those. And then kind of getting into the modern times, they have a bunch of wars with Britain. So there's the Anglo-Burmese wars. There's about 3 of those in the 19th century. So from about the 1820s to the 1880s, the British win all 3 of those. It's a clean sweep. They pitched a shutout. And remember, the British were already in India, so they kind of governed this as like a province of India until 1937. And then Burma becomes a self-governing colony. Right, so if you ever look at the map and you look at this part of the world, how like India looks kind of weird. Like we're I did do a Bangladesh episode, so I talked about that a little bit. But India kind of it loops around, Bangladesh. It's almost like cut off there, but then there's a big chunk of it on that other side. Bangladesh, formerly known as East Pakistan. I had to think about that for a minute. Not West, right? Yeah, East Pakistan. But it was part of India, and then they kind of segregated that to separate the Buddhists and the Muslims. So there's kind of a big chunk there, that's sort of separated from India, except for a very small strip in between. So the Burmese actually, they made some plays for that land, right? Because it's kind of more in their sphere of influence, and that's kind of what put them at odds with the British, right? Because the British were already administering India, so the Burmese kind of fell to good old colonialism, right? And they do gain full independence in 1948, right? As the European empires are collapsing, right? Western liberalism, quote unquote self-determination, becomes much more of a thing post World War II. And some of them Southeast Asian countries, had a bit of an uphill battle, right? Fighting communist insurgencies and things like that. Burma It's kind of one of those places where, just due to how it's been run, the military has always kind of been like strictly divorced from like the civilians. So it's always it's all kind of been like an antagonistic relationship, right? Where, you know, I mean, it's kind of like that in a lot of countries, honestly. But yeah, it was never seen as like the military wasn't used for you know, like foreign adventurism or, you know, protecting the borders or anything. It's more used as like an authoritative measure, you know, kind of against the people. So there's always been a lot of popular resistance movements in Burma. They do have a very large Muslim population, but Burma is Buddhist. So the military, you know, is kind of defends, you know, the Burmese state. So that puts them at odds with the Muslims quite a bit there. And that leads to some issues, which we'll get to. So we're still only in about, you know, kind of the early independence period. So 1962, General Ne Win, I think I pronounced that right, he seizes power and he rules the country until 1988, when democratic reforms take place and they have popular elections. No, I'm just kidding. No, it was another military coup. So another military regime takes control. Yeah, this country and their military is that's pretty much the entire history there of like their political movements. So 1989 is when they adopt the name Myanmar, and again, that's kind of like a controversial topic, right? It's again, the people are called Burmese, but they're kind of called Myanmar internationally. They're kind of not. Some people do. For James draws everything, right? Because of course, you know, I am the authoritative final say on geopolitical matters. I'm calling it Myanmar. So, but again, Southeast Asia, not really my my area of expertise, right? So this place is always kind of alien to Westerners, like as far as the history and all of that. So yeah, I'm just kind of winging it this episode, guys. Yeah, I think my red marker, again, it's seen better days. So, you know, we're on the last page though. You know, this is our last page, and then we got a couple stragglers after this, so we're gonna have to just squeeze onto an extra page. So, will my markers survive? Tune into the next episode. Tune into the end to find out. Anyways, James, you gotta focus. You gotta get your act together here. Back to Myanmar. Okay, so it is officially Myanmar now. 1990. The military regime does permit some elections, but they reject the results. Right? So hey, at least they tried. So I always find that funny, right? Like, why allow elections if you're only going to accept one result anyway, right? So, but hey, you give the facade for the you know, the international community, so you can say, you know what, we tried, okay, we at least tried, but we didn't like it, so oh well. And see, I don't mind. I don't mind the corruption or whatever. As long as there's honesty, right? Like if you're just gonna be a dictatorship, like just say it. Like, well, like what's the point? But anyways, this is where you kind of see some of like those nationalist, like sort of freedom fighting heroes, like start to uprise. Like, you know, India had Gandhi. You know, South Africa had oh God, why am I blanking on his name? Nelson Mandela, thank you. And Burma has Aung San Suu Kyi, ASSK, and so she has the opposition party, you know, kind of like you know, more of like a Western liberal, like kind of flavor of democracy. The NLD, the National League for Democracy, and she won in a landslide. They placed her under arrest until 2010. because I guess winning is illegal in Burma or something. But yeah, she is kind of like one of those Gandhi types, though, right? Where kind of like the or what's the girl from Argentina, dude? Don't Cry for Me, Argentina. Wasn't that like a Madonna movie? But it was based on somebody. Anyways, so she was popular, right? For for those good old freedom fighting reasons, right? That the Western media, Western intellectuals, Western Hollywood, they just they slop that stuff up. They just eat it with a spoon. So again, she's placed under arrest for the illegal, the very serious crime of winning an election. 2007, kind of leading into the global economic crisis. Fuel prices are kind of shaky in Burma. Leads to more pro-democracy activists and Buddhist monks launch a saffron revolution, right? So a large protest against the military regime, which were, of course, allowed to happen. No, just kidding. They were violently suppressed. So no more elections until, they draft a constitution to kind of preserve the military's control. A lot of referendums happen, a lot of shakiness. The NLD boycotts some of the votes. The NLD, that national, I'm sorry, what was it called? National League for Democracy Party. So, some political reforms and economic reforms here and there. ASSK's return in 2012 leads to the NLD's victory in the 2015 election. So she becomes kind of like the de facto head of state. And so basically kind of like the first civilian government, right? Like not like a military dictatorship. And they do get some criticism for this because, they kind of don't allow the international community to like inspect, elections and military operations. And because there's kind of something going on here, like, in the background of all this political upheaval. I mentioned there's a large Muslim population in Burma, the Rohingya population, and there is, I'm never sure if I should actually say this word on YouTube or not, if I'm going to get in trouble or get my channel flagged, but whatever, No, not that word. I don't swear on this channel, right? This is a kid-friendly channel. Genocide, right? So this is a genocide of the Muslim population in Burma. So that kind of draws some criticism from the international community. But again, it's just kind of one of those. India had the problem as well with Pakistan, Bangladesh. Sometimes it's just, if you don't have anything tying you together as far as like a shared heritage history. We talked about this in the Netherlands, how the Netherlands actually physically separates people by political belief and, what was it called? Pillarization, political belief and religious beliefs. A little harder to do that when maybe your state isn't as well organized, like, if you're Burma, quote unquote, Myanmar. So there's another military coup. After the 2020 elections, 2021, the military says, enough of this democracy crap. Let's get the military back in power. But, it kind of remains to be seen. There's been a lot of, kind of pro-democracy protests. I'm sure those are NGO funded. I'm not saying that some of them are not organic. I'm sure a lot of them probably are. But, how in the West, they get a sniff of some of that, liberal democracy stuff, and they say, hey, let's start off funneling billions of dollars. Let's give them AIDS, right? Let's give them AIDS the old-fashioned way, U.S. AIDS. Yeah, what did I say, AIDS? No, I meant U.S. AIDS. Everybody's got U.S. AIDS these days. That's so. Anyways, it's just a country where, the civilian population and the military have always had a kind of an unstable marriage, right? And there is a very different ethnic and religious sort of communities there. But with that said, James, yes, what is the flag for? Well, I'm glad you asked, because it doesn't really mean anything. So it's got yellow, green, and red. The colors do not have an official meaning, But the design revolves around the tri-band colors that Burma was using in World War II when they were occupied by the Japanese, right? And the star, I think, was added later, and they've had various versions of this as their government has kind of went through transitions. So Burma, Myanmar, I don't know. What do you guys think I should call it? Because I don't really have too much of an opinion about this place one way or the other. Southeast Asia, always kind of fun to do these episodes because these countries always surprise me. And again, they're not my area of expertise. But is Burma/Myanmar your area of expertise? Can you correct all the mistakes that I made? Or actually, no, I don't make mistakes. Can you correct all the mistakes that my research assistants made in this episode so that I know to fire them? So yeah, can you do that? Put it in the comments. I don't care if you tell me, that I was wrong. So do that. Also, whether you like it or not, just hit that like button anyway. And whether you like it or not, also hit that subscribe button. I could use all the subscribers that I can get. So yeah, and we're gonna bang this out together, guys. We're gonna finish off this page, and we're gonna be done with this project in a few more days. So for all of you that have been there since the beginning, I thank you for that. For those of you who have joined a little bit late to the party here, and I'm glad you're here anyway, so go back and watch all of my videos. Take the day off from work, call in sick, do whatever you got to do, cancel your family plans, cancel vacation, go watch them all, like them all, subscribe to them all, and comment and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.